Let me tell you what I do for a living. I work Hollywood Boulevard and impersonate Rick James. But anyway,
all right,
you want us to do
Jess, I want you to do more liners for our show. So you are listening to the Gary and Dino Show on the New Normal Network.
Excuse me, everybody, but you are listening to the normal Gary and Dino Show on the New Normal Network. And I'm Rick James.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, it's another Gary and Dino show. I'm Gary, he's Dino.
You bet.
Did you really have to post this thing about Kenny Kingston? Couldn't we have just left it alone?
If you think I'm going to lay off the gas from that old bastard, you're crazy. All the time, I feel like Kenny Kingston is going through my mind 24/7.
This is the old psychic who refused to come on the Gary and Dino show. It just flat out turned us down.
Yeah, at least if you're not going to want to come on the show, just don't bother to give us a response.
Right.
We'll leave it at the fact that maybe you're sure or not sure, whatever. It's kind of still up in the air. You flat out and say, pass, in an email back to me. Fuck you.
This really pissed you off. We devoted a lot of time to it last show, and you're still not done.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to be done until Kenny has taken his last breath. And then maybe I'll contact him as he's dead, like he does.
I love this story about this kid in a condom in a hotel room. This is the craziest goddamn thing I've ever heard. And, you know, it happened a while back. It happened like a couple days ago. I've been kind of waiting to see how this whole thing was going to, turn out.
It reminded me a lot of the story that we sat on about the woman whose face was ripped off by the monkey. And we weren't sure whether or not to really talk about it because it was just simply so disturbing.
Yeah, well, this one sort of has a cliffhanger. We don't know what the outcome is. That's why I was sort of let it be, see if it stewed a little bit.
And to me, the thought about the content about which we're going to talk about is so unnerving.
Yeah.
It's terrible that I've already eaten because I have a bad feeling I might not make it through the story. And if you're listening now, right now, no matter what day it is, you're probably 17 shows behind, or if you're any one of our friends, you're not even listening at all. Bastards. Turn away, shut it off, don't listen to what we're about to say.
It's really the news story that says it all. We don't really even need, I think, to comment on it.
No, we
very
do.
disturbing. But the problem is, I think, is that it will bring a little bit of vomit to the back of your throat. I think that's going to happen in a lot of cases.
This show was tagged as explicit content. This time it falls under a news story.
Yeesh.
So it's not us just talking about Kenny Kingston chasing around young men. This is something far worse, in my opinion.
The Daily News has chosen to include a photo, the Daily News in New York, has chosen to include a photo with the story of just a big used condom. It's like
is it used?
It's a big, that looks like a used condom to me.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what they use for the material in the condom in this case.
I don't know what's going on here.
Do they use Elmer's glue? I mean, what?
I don't know. All right, you got that news story?
I do.
Because it's priceless.
They were supposed to have fun at a couple of area theme parks. Instead, one of the boys is being tested for STDs and HIV. How did this happen? Now, Tom Haynes is here now to explain. Tom?
What a story, Russ and Lisa. So this grandmother thought it would be fun to take her family out on a little weekend adventure. So she booked a hotel room in downtown Atlanta. She says what her grandson found inside one of the beds could afflict him for the rest of his life. Carmen Jones couldn't wait to take her grandson and his cousin away for a weekend of family fun.
My cousin and I were very close. We wanted to do something for them for the weekend before they started school.
So the Decatur woman says she bought a hotel and park package through the Wyndham Garden Hotel in downtown Atlanta.
So far, so good.
The plan was we were doing Six Flags on Saturday and the aquarium on Sunday.
It was July 31st. The family starting their weekend at Six Flags, arriving back at the hotel Saturday night, exhausted.
Once we got in the hotel, of course, when you've been at Six Flags all day, you have the children, young children, you're really tired.
Carmen says at first glance, room 329 looked perfectly clean, except for one thing.
I noticed there weren't any soap, and I did notice that we didn't have towels and washcloths.
She says she noticed something else that she mentioned to her cousin.
And I'm like, girl, my sheets don't smell clean,
Oh, boy.
Little did Carmen know that would be the least of their problems. The next morning, Carmen says she awoke to a horrifying scene.
When I looked at my grandson, he had a used condom all down his throat. His tongue in it, everything. There was semen in the condom.
She says she immediately took the condom out of the boy's mouth and called hotel management. She says days later, he developed a fever, and then her worst nightmare happened.
Next day, that's when I had seen the open blisters inside of his mouth. God. Inside of the bottom lip, all on his tongue.
Carmen says all she can do now is pray.
There's that hope that you just hope that, nothing comes from it.
All right, so this story clearly is not over. We spoke to Carmen's attorney, who says the family is awaiting test results before deciding how to proceed. As for Wyndham Gardens, they say they are examining the police report before providing further comment. We're also in contact with the local owner of this hotel. As soon as we get more information as to how it all plays out, of course, we'll be sure to let you know.
Oh, my God.
I don't know where to begin on this at all. It's so disturbing. At first, my reaction was, what the motherfuck? How did this kid get the condom in his mouth and like halfway down his throat? What the hell was he doing?
He was like, you think he might have thought it was a balloon or something.
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
I'm hearing reports that that's what he thought was he was putting in his mouth.
Which is dangerous in itself, right? You get a little kid, you'd be messing around with a balloon. It's lights out.
Well, apparently so, because he stuck it in his mouth. He didn't blow it up.
Right, it was halfway down his throat.
Right.
Oh, my God. With the contents in that condom, I can't get my head around this, dude. This is the worst story we've done.
Well, look, I mean, if your sheets don't smell particularly clean, how about you check out the kid's bed then too. Make sure that's clean before you put him in there.
This is not a good story.
All right, so there are a couple of unanswered questions. Number one, if this is indeed a true story and a kid put a used condom in his mouth, does he get a breakout in a day's time? I mean, does that happen?
That's the part that is suspect to me.
Fever blisters broke out on his tongue, lips, and inside of his mouth 1 day after putting a condom in his mouth.
Right. I don't think if this is a scam perpetrated by the mother in order to get some type of financial gain. Mm-hmm. I said if.
I heard what you said.
Okay. Then she didn't think things through, because she would realize it takes a lot longer to get an STD. You don't just get it and then it pops up the next day. There's been medical doctors talking about this case where they say that it takes... You wouldn't get blisters in your mouth like the next night.
Right, you wouldn't think so.
And here's another thing. She says he got blisters. Once they blood test this kid, and we're about to find out the real story, because they don't have the condom either. She said that the Wyndham guy at the front desk wouldn't give them back the used condom.
Right.
It miraculously disappeared. So, as horrific as the story as it sounds, there are some things that make this into a questionable story. The missing condom and the appearance of an STD almost immediately after the kid allegedly ate the condom.
And not verified by a doctor, by the way, right? I mean, a doctor never saw these fever blisters.
Right.
We're
so
going by
you
the
tell
grandmother.
me. You tell me.
Yeah.
You know, could Grandma need a couple of $100,000 for this? I don't know. I really don't know.
Could Grandma be using this little kid as a pawn in this particular story? That is, I mean, it's one thing. Use your grandkid in some kind of wacky story, but to have him put a condom in his mouth is a whole other thing. A used condom.
By the way, the entire story, if it is just a story and not real, is an incredible, powerful way to get this money. Like, I mean, it made me almost puke right here. I mean, that took some thought.
What do you think that used condom tasted like? You know, with the semen in it and everything, and halfway down your throat. What do you think that was like? If you had to compare it to something, you know, you're thinking about it right now. What do you think it would taste like?
I'm thinking it would taste exactly the way you picture it. That's the worst thing you can taste.
Delicious. Now, I had thought I read something about the hotel now being under a different company now, right? It's no longer owned by that particular company?
Another suspect thing that happened. So the kid eats the condom. Hey, this is a bad thing here. Oops, the hotel got sold to somebody else. Now it's somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
So is it like a final gasp? Did they work this deal out with Grandma Jones here?
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
It's the last regime. We'll hit up the insurance company, and this is it.
Grandma Jones, she's going for it. You know, nice day at Six Flags. Spoiled by, of all things, a used condom in your grandson's throat. And it's getting really, really creepy, the stuff that they're finding. We'll talk about it in a second. From the New Normal, it's the Gary and Dino Show.
You are listening to the Gary and Dino Show on that new, very new Normal Network.
Whether your business is up or down, opportunity is always out there. And no one knows more about where to find young, affluent consumers than the New Normal Network. In less than 2 months, the websites of the New Normal have attracted more than 200,000 visits, over 435,000 page views. There are 3 podcasts, 5 websites, a 24/7 music stream, even the show you're listening to right now. Young, technologically savvy users on every kind of device. Some media people say this audience has disappeared. They haven't gone away. They've changed their address to the New Normal. Now, doesn't your ad belong on the New Normal Network? Banners, boxes, links, anything we can imagine together. Even traditional radio commercials. It's all here. Get the details while you're still thinking about it. Call the New Normal at 310-492-8852 right now. That's 310-492-8852 or visit newnormalnetwork.com.